Well, how'd you do on memorizing 1 Chronicles 29, 11, and 12? It's really an amazing verse. About 20% of the graduates of the small group study have said that memorizing it was one of the most helpful parts of the entire study. So keep it fresh. I encourage you to meditate on it for 30 days when you first wake up in the morning and just before you go to sleep. The reason we place the lesson on God's part and our part at the beginning is it's the real foundation of the entire study. God's the owner of everything. He's in control of everything, and He provides us everything. And as you learned, our part is to be a steward. Now, I'm completely convinced of this. The Lord didn't make us to be owners. We can't handle it when we think we're the owners. The only way we can really experience financial contentment, peace, and even joy is when we're faithful stewards. Now, let me tell you a little bit about the map. The Compass Finances God's Way map that you're going to be using this coming week. It's a great tool. It'll tell you where you are financially, where you want to go financially, and it answers the really big question, what do I do next? So let's look at the map. The first thing you're going to do is to check off everything you've already accomplished. If you've saved $1,000 for emergencies, check it off in Destination 1. If you've purchased a home, check it off in Destination 5. Then once you've checked off everything you've done, the next step is simple. Focus on completing the first thing you haven't accomplished in the earliest destination. Let me give you an example. If you finish Destination 1, but you still have that credit card debt hanging over your head in Destination 2, that's what you're going to focus on. And like any journey, there are bumps in the road, aren't there? One time, Bev and I didn't have any income for 6 months. I mean, it felt like an eternity. Sometimes it's 2 steps forward, 1 step back. The key, don't give up and relentlessly focus on making progress. And here's what's really cool. Every time you make progress, your finances get healthier and more stable. Well, Kyle, tell us how to list our debts and, more importantly, how to snowball those rascals.
Sure, Howard. Let's take a look at the debt list and how to fill out all your debts. Now, I have to warn you, this can be difficult emotionally because many people don't know what they owe, and they're stunned to discover how much it is. Now, if you're married, be sure to start this together by praying. The first debts you'll pay off are the plastic ones, because credit cards usually carry the highest rate of interest. You'll notice on the debt list that the last column is titled Prioritize Your Payments. Now listen carefully. Number the credit card with the lowest balance is number 1, and the second lowest credit card balance is number 2, and so on. Now here's how to snowball them. Make the minimum payments on all your debts and focus on paying off number 1, the one with the smallest balance. After it's paid off, take what you're paying on the first and use it to pay off number 2, the second smallest balance. After it's paid off, take what you were paying on the first and second and apply it to the card with the third smallest balance. That's the snowball effect in action, and it's exciting to see your debts go down and more of your monthly payments going to pay off principal and less towards interest. After you've paid off your plastic debt, work on paying off the rest of your consumer debt by snowballing it as well. After it's paid off, focus on paying off your home mortgage. Now, Compass has a snowball debt calculator and mortgage payoff calculators, which are incredibly motivating tools that are free. And this week, you'll also continue working on building your budget. If you're using the Money Lounge, go to moneylounge.org/compass to complete this week's assignment. Otherwise, continue recording your income and spending for 30 days, and if you have questions, please ask your small group facilitator. Now let's hear another story from some of our friends.
Hi there, I'm Marilyn Johnson, and I'm debt-free. Leaving home, going off to college, wanting to make mega bucks, graduate, get out, and spend all these mega bucks, but clueless about the fact that it didn't belong to me. And once I got sick and tired of being in debt, I said there has to be a way out. So by taking the class and just learning that this is a totally different world, a world where I'm at peace because it's God's economy. That's the world that I'm talking about. And I'm not burdened or heavy laden. And that encouraged me, motivated me to make sure that I attended every class. It was just exciting. I had a lot to look forward to every time. Once finishing the class, I couldn't keep it to myself. I wanted to share it with as many people as I could. Say, hey, you just don't know what you're missing. You know, God has a lot to say about money and possessions.
Hi, we're the Allens. I'm Colleen.
I'm Doug, and this is our daughter, Mia. Learning about God's principle on debt and learning that you're a slave to debt was extremely, extremely helpful. And then I really began to realize, once we listed out all our debts, I realized, wow, we are a slave to that. And that was a real big motivating factor for us to be extremely disciplined and urgent and motivated to be free from all our debt.
I always hated debt, and so when we got married, he wanted to put our money towards investments, and I wanted to pay off the debt that we had incurred, mainly because I knew I wanted to be a stay-at-home mom. And so for me to feel comfortable laying the burden of our, monthly income on him, I didn't want to leave him with a huge burden. So getting out of debt was really important. And we're there. I mean, I get to stay home with my daughter, and so we get to see that. And that's been such a blessing. Huge.